Okay, just what I suspected. Coming from that Schrader valve, and that slowed it down a bunch. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and leave it because it slowed it down a bunch, but you can still see it seeping just a little bit. And I got that thing tight. So what I'll do, see that it's not leaking that much, you know, but you know, 24/7, yeah, that would do it. And I wish I would have went ahead and pulled that valve out. So what I'll probably do is go ahead and let it go. And if I had a cap that would screw on that tight, it's got a rubber O-ring inside there, so but yeah, I went up there with my ultraviolet and it shows up real good. You can see just with me having that on my fingers, that's what you're supposed to see. And there wasn't nothing up there on those fittings, none of these fittings. And that was, and then I thought I was going to have to take that loose, switch, move it around and take that panel off. This one. You can see the air conditioning lines right there. And there wasn't no, if there's a leak up there, that line, this ultraviolet light would pop it up. So that saved some time. With that being bent, I didn't have to take it apart. And so it's that Schrader valve. This one here, it's not leaking. So that Schrader valve is what it was. I got it tight as it'll go. So what I'll do is, I don't have that much more time before I'm done for the winter. I got some new Schrader valves here. That's what they look like. But it, like I say, it slowed it down a bunch, so I should have checked that. Right off the bat. But that'll take care of it for now. I'll just go ahead and add that probably, as much as that slowed down, that would probably do me till I'm done for the season anyway, so. trying to think. See, that wouldn't even show up on a vac test. When you vacuum it, and then you shut it off, it's supposed to be a negative 30 with the vacuum to the whole system. And being that's O-ring fitting there, hooking up to that Schrader valve would not show up because the Schrader valve would be open. And do a vac test, so. All right, I think I do. I'm glad it wasn't the hoses. I was afraid it was coming from the crimp where Napa made the hoses up. I talked to the old boy down there the other day about, actually made the hoses for me. Leaves are falling like crazy, so I might go ahead and move it on away from these trees. I'd rather be sitting in the sun, and then these leaves all fall down here in the engine compartment. Let's see, was there anything else I was going to do? I don't think so. Right now, if the wind stayed that way, she's sitting in the sun anyway, so. Right there's where I need it. many freckles do you count? Okay. I mean, it turned out to a really good day, I thought. Pretty sure that oil leak, that's what the deal is with it. Okay, well, I got oil leak figured out, I think. Pretty sure. Air conditioner leak figured out. Pretty sure. We're batting 1,000. So far. Did shut that off, didn't I? Yep. Well, I was going to put a different radio on this. I ordered one when I was first putting this together and stuff. Put up there, there's a cover that covers all that up, and I put those speakers in there. And of course the old original radio wasn't working that was in there. So I got a aftermarket radio that I put in there, and I had a little remote to it and stuff. Well, that worked fine, but not very long. And the last fall, it was working last fall when I parked it for the winter. Come back next spring, and radio would not work on FM. So of course I thought it was radio or the antenna. So I ordered a new antenna because I can hear static and just picking up those stations. So anyway, you don't need it in here anyway. Stupid bug. So anyway, that's a burn. I don't smoke. Evidently when I was playing in the fire. So anyway, where can I put you for now? here for now. So anyway, I went on eBay, and I'm not going to look for Junko radios, so I got a name brand, and I can't think of it. I think it's a Panasonic, old school one. Let's see. Don't take much Velcro to hold it. So I went ahead and stuck it in there, and she worked good. And I did a Google search, and I seen where it actually come with a remote control, so I ordered it, and so it seems like it's working really good now. The cameras are working real good, except they're kind of hard to tell distance, but still I used it for backup camera just the other day. So, and like I say, my windshield, brand new windshield, got a little crack in it, so I told the glass guy he was going to come back out and put a new one in there. Say, don't worry about it, we'll do it later on this fall when they're not so busy, or next spring. So, you know, and actually that's livable. If he wants to, he hadn't sent me a bill, so I need to send him a text and tell him go ahead and send me the bill. So I can settle up with him. So she'd be all right there. I gotta pull this pin back out. So when I welded this bucket, see how it's holding up. That was a big old crack over there on that side, and then there was a crack on this side. Like I said, that oil was coming from that leaky cylinder. It's going to be fixed. So when I get back home, I got to knock that pin back out, because when I was putting it back in, it goes in from this side. I noticed that I moved when I knocked that pin. I knocked that bushing loose. I knocked it in. So it's not out here where it needs to be. So in other words, it's got play here in the bucket. But I don't think it's doing any, I'm not doing any hard digging and dirt and anything anyways. I don't think it's hurting anything. So when I get it back home, I'll knock that pin back out, and then I'll be able to see that bushing, and hopefully I can go in from this side here, or lift up and pound that bushing back out where it's supposed to be. The bushing shouldn't have been that easy to move it to begin with. Go on back here and show you something else he's wanting me to do. I did for him last year. Give me a drink here. Like I say, he's into renting portable toilets for like auctions, get-togethers, or whatever. And then he was into, say like a construction company or whatever would come in and they're going to build something, and then they would rent these office trailers. so the supervision and clerical work and everything can be done. Huh, well, I got trapped there. And I don't think anything's in it. Trap is set. I mean, huh. I mean, it's something's knocked it off. Ain't nothing in there. So anyway, yeah, he was renting those out. And like I say, he's got those 20-foot connexes now that is more or less indestructible. Go back over here. Because that unit I was supposed to use is supposed to be over here. But anyway, they empty out septic systems, septic tanks and stuff. So the truck would come in here and they'll go along that road and they'll shoot it out there in that field. And then they'll use that tractor to come through there and then more or less open that ground up where it'll soak down in that ground. But over here is supposed to be call it landscape rake or something that I sold him. The heck is that? That's a chisel plow. That's like a field cultivator. Is that it? I think so. Yep. It's a 3-point thing. Like had wheels and everything on the back of it. But what I do is I hook to the bucket with my thumb down, and then I chain it just so I don't lose it in the pond. Nice to follow the same tracks. You never know what all's out in here. So they got really good business. There's, I think he's the biggest one around. They'll come down this road here, see? And they got a 90-degree thing they'll put to the back of their truck and it'll shoot it out in there. See, like there, they just drive down. They'll shoot it out, and then they shoot it way out there, and then they'll come down the road here and then shoot it out. And then they run that tractor up and down it. Let that stuff soak into the ground. There's a big cow farm. I was trying to place where this was. got a settlement pond here. I'm not sure what they put in here. See.